My maid of honor begged me not to marry my fiance a week before our wedding, and I need to know if I did the right thing. My fiance and I had been together for over 3 years, and I thought that I was the luckiest girl in the whole world. My friends loved him, my family loved him. I truly was living in the mindset that I was in this perfect relationship with the perfect guy. My maid of honor was my best childhood friend. She knows me better than anyone else in the entire world, but unfortunately, we live in different states. So before I got engaged, she had only met my fiance a handful of times when she came to visit, or we went to visit her. But about 5 months before the wedding, my maid of honor actually decided to move home, and she ended up living about 15 minutes from me. So she started spending a ton of time with my fiance and I. And this is when I started noticing a shift. She seemed to be so much less excited about wedding planning. When my fiance would walk into the room, she'd go quiet. It was just weird. Like, I could tell the vibe was off, and anytime I tried to ask her about it, she would just tell me it was nothing. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. I kind of chalk it all up to the fact that maybe she's just stressed out because being a maid of honor is a big responsibility, and she just went through this big move. It's probably just a lot on her plate, so I don't push it. But that's when I get the phone call. Less than a week before my wedding, I get a call from my maid of honor, and she's absolutely sobbing and asks me if she can come over. I was like, yes, absolutely. I think that something's going on with her personally. I would have never expected what she was about to say to me. So she comes over, and she's an absolute mess. She's crying, she's shaking, she looks so upset. And so I'm trying to ask her what's wrong, and for a while, she's just not even able to say anything to me. But finally, she just looks at me and says, you can't marry him. You have to call off this wedding. And I am absolutely shocked. And my mind goes exactly where yours may have gone. Did you find out he was cheating on me? She's like, no, that's not it. I was like, okay, did he say something to you that rubbed you the wrong way? Like, I don't understand. She's like, no, he didn't say anything to me. So I'm just absolutely dumbfounded. I'm trying to get her to explain more what's going on. And she was like, it's hard for me to even describe why you need to end it, but you need to trust me. It's for the best that you don't marry this man. And that's when she hands me her phone, and it's not pictures, it's not texts, it's a notes app. And since she had moved closer to us, she started writing down every instance where she felt like my fiance was not good for me. She told me it was never the plan to gather all this information and put it in a notes app and then just bombard me with it right before my wedding, but that's kind of what was happening. Like, she wrote down a ton of things, and then right before my wedding is showing me. She told me that she started to feel like she was losing her mind a little bit because she felt like my fiance wasn't good for me, but she didn't know if those feelings were valid or if maybe she was just a super overprotective friend. So every time a situation presented itself where she started getting this feeling that something wasn't right, she wrote it down so that she could look at it and then decide if her feelings were valid. And my immediate reaction is to be upset because nobody's perfect. So what do you mean you were just writing every single time you messed up on a list and that's what you're presenting? Because obviously he's gonna look bad if you're just writing down every single mistake you've ever seen him make. But that's when I noticed that the notes app wasn't just specific instances of things that he did. It was showing patterns, things that he was consistently doing that weren't right. One of the examples she had on the notes app was, your fiance always puts down your accomplishments. And she noted the instance when I got promoted at work and I threw a celebration dinner, and my fiance, in front of all of my friends and family, said that, yeah, it was great that I got promoted, but if I would have worked harder, I would have already been promoted. And looking at all the examples on there, I realized she was kind of right. When I was thinking about it, anytime something big and amazing happened in my life, it was never just congratulations, that's amazing. It was always conditional. That's amazing, but it could have been more amazing, or but I did this, or but, never just congratulations. Another thing that was on the list was that he was constantly putting me down in front of everybody, but he was using the excuse that it was a joke to make it okay. For example, one time we were meeting my friends out at a dinner, and he had asked me to grab him something from home and totally forgot. Was super busy that day. It just slipped my mind. When I get there, he just starts going on and on about how I'm the most forgetful person he's ever met, that he can't even trust me to plan our wedding or our honeymoon by myself. Like, he has to really make sure I'm doing everything right because I would probably just forget one of the most important things and ruin the day. First of all, I'm really not that forgetful. I forgot one thing in this situation, but he turned that one thing into an entire speech about why I'm basically useless. And the list started to go on and on like that. It was not these one-off instances. It was just continuous patterns of behavior that just kind of showed that he didn't respect me. But I was not ready to see that right before my wedding. So obviously at this point, I'm very upset, and I tell my maid of honor that it is probably best if she goes home because I just need to sit and process all of this. And as I begin thinking about it, I was like, this is ridiculous. She's just being overprotective. She only sees a small part of our relationship. She doesn't see all the amazing things he does for me, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm telling myself. But the next day, something happened, and it just hit me all at once that she might be right. I was looking for my AirPods, and I asked my fiance, hey, have you seen them anywhere? Cannot find them. They were not where I left them. And he just starts going on this rant about how I'm so irresponsible, how he can't ever buy me anything nice because I'm just gonna lose it. And I need to work on that. And it's such a burden on him how much I lose things. What if I really couldn't tell you that many things I've lost. Everyone loses things sometimes. Not that big of a deal, but he's just going on and on and on about how irresponsible I am. Like, okay, I get it. I ended up apologizing. I'm like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm always apologizing. That was on our list too. You're always apologizing when you really didn't do anything wrong. Then an hour later, my fiance comes over to me, drops my AirPods on my lap and says, oh yeah, forgot. I actually took them from right where you said you left them and took them to the gym with me. Here you go. No apology. No, hey, I'm really sorry that I just went off on you about how forgetful you are and how, irresponsible you are when really he was the one that was forgetful that he took my AirPods without asking to go use them in the first place. It just hit me all at once. All the times that I apologized for things that weren't my fault. All the times that I felt like I needed to communicate better, that I was too emotional, that everything was my fault, when really, no, it wasn't. When I looked at that list, I was like, wait, the reason that I would feel the way that I felt and I would be upset is because sometimes he wasn't nice to me. And I don't know what causes me to ask this question specifically, but I just look at him and say, hey, do you remember why we got in a fight the night before my birthday? And my birthday had been a few months back, so this was pretty recent. And he just looks at me and goes, oh yeah, when I got home late and you completely overreacted by getting upset with me, but I don't know why we're talking about this, like I forgave you. For context, what happened that night was I was throwing a birthday dinner celebration for all my closest friends at my apartment, and he didn't show up. I was calling him, I was texting him, he wasn't there. He shows up in the last 30 minutes of the dinner because he forgot about it. He was out drinking with his friends and just didn't come. I didn't even say anything to him about it. I just started crying and I went and spent the night at one of my friends' houses that night because I was just so hurt. And that's when I realized that my best friend was completely right and she was able to see something that I was unable to see with my rose-colored glasses. Even when I didn't do anything wrong and he was obviously in the wrong, it all gets twisted and somehow I'm the one apologizing. And I just called off the wedding right there. Less than a week before the wedding. He was shocked. He did not see it coming. I was shocked. I didn't see it coming. Yeah, I just told him, I can't do this. I can't do this relationship. It's not right for me. And I left. I packed up my stuff and I showed up on my maid of honor's front door. And I was like, hey, can I live with you for a little bit? Some of my friends and family think I overreacted. They think that these were just a few small things that we could have worked on instead of canceling an entire wedding and just breaking up. But I don't know, I feel like I did the right thing. But let me know what you think and what you would have done because yeah, it was a little bit of an extreme decision.
It's almost been 2 years since I've dated the worst person I've ever met in my whole life. So, let's go down memory lane of the things my evil ex did to me. Typical porn-addicted misogynistic gamer. He said he was poly and wanted to open up the relationship so he wouldn't cheat on me. Still did. He wouldn't allow me to have lavender scented anything because it reminded him of the time his mom walked in on him wanking it with her lavender lotion and it exploded everywhere, so he was traumatized by the scent of lavender. I wanted to dye my hair pink and he said, don't do that, you'll remind me of my ex, the one he cheated on, who, after we opened up our relationship, tried getting back with just for her brother to threaten him with a restraining order while we were at IHOP. One time I had a bad anxiety attack, so he decided to blindfold me and initiate sex, and when I pushed him off and cried, he got upset and said he was just trying to help. I remember when he had a crush on our new neighbors, 2 women, and paced back and forth in the living room looking at the people to create a spontaneous meet cute. And when stopped by my roommate and pointed out, hey, that's really fucking weird, he pouted and said, you ruin all the fun. When we'd be intimate, oh my god, he would Google pictures of celebrity women and place his phone next to my head. When he said I needed to be more open-minded with my boundaries and that it's okay for him to have crushes on my friends because I've already vetted them. And then subscribe to their OnlyFans. I remember waking up in the middle of the night several times to the bed shaking and hearing him jerk it next to me while watching porn on his phone. One time my roommate and I were watching RuPaul and he came out and told me he was scared. And when I said, "Why?" and paused the lip sync, he said, the Russian sex worker he just had video chat sex with was going to blackmail him and post the video online if he didn't pay her. Right. I had a PTSD moment, because who doesn't in shitty relationships? And I didn't want to be intimate for a while. And he got upset and said I wasn't allowed to be with other people if we weren't going to be intimate. Okay. Remember the time we were getting coffee and he said, I have a little secret to confess. And when I asked what it was, he said, I smelled your underwear. Okay. When I asked him for a shoulder rub after working 12 hours, he got upset I interrupted his game time and said, we just spent 3 fucking hours together, get real. We didn't. We just got dinner and watched a YouTube video because he can't watch anything longer than that because it'll interrupt World of Warcraft time. After we broke up, we briefly shared a bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night to him hovering over me. And I pushed him back down and told him what he did the next morning, and he said he had no recollection of that, but it must have been really scary for me. I started sleeping on the couch, and I asked if we could take turns on the bed because my body was starting to hurt. And he said, quote, per my therapist, I found him by the way, the boundary we discussed was me not displacing myself or making myself uncomfortable for a breakup I didn't ask for. But I'm open to sharing the bed. After work, I came home and went in our room to use our bathroom, and he had 9 screens up of different porn going on in each one, and then got upset and said, I only watch this when I want to get off fast. Didn't ask. I proceeded to live in the living room and sleep on the couch for 8 months and develop chronic body pain because of it. My back is hurting talking to you like this. He had another girlfriend after me for a month and a half and put up one of her art pieces of the Mandalorian right above the couch where I sleep. And when I said, why would you put that there? He said, well, I live here too. Right. I read his journal while he was at work, and it said, I'm being punished for her ex's actions. I can't imagine being raped, but come on now, how many years ago was that? Get over it. You say you love therapy, do the work. I wasn't therapy. She's so ADHD, but PMDD is the main character this season. Am I too insecure to be Polly? Remembered when I took a nap on the bed during the day on a day off just to be woken up by him whacking off in the bathroom. The Mandalorian girl after me broke up with him because she was uncomfortable with him still living with his ex. And he said she didn't accept me. And a month later tried getting back with her by going to her place and leaving a note on her car that said, you have a secret admirer. When I broke up with him and told him he was being mean to me, he said, I hate myself. I just want to hit myself. Go for it! When I was telling him the lived experience of myself and other women in this world and society, he said I was sexist against men. He told me that his therapist told him that he is her favorite client. He hired someone to cuddle him during the pandemic. Told me he couldn't tell the ages of people and was bummed out that the barista he hit on was 16. Told me on the way to get coffee one morning at 8 a.m. that he was looking up MILFs on Twitter and accidentally stumbled across CP. One night I was about to fall asleep and he asked to rub up against me, and I brushed him off, and he tried slipping his tiny dick between my legs, and I slammed my hand behind me, yelled at him, cried, he pouted, and said, I didn't think you'd mind. When I brought that up after I broke up with him, he said, I don't remember what happened 700 days ago. You never said no. You should talk to your therapist about this. Oh, that's it, yeah. So, eat shit and die, bitch!
Story time about how I lost my V card. Don't do what I do. Y'all just if you don't learn nothing from this video, just don't give shit to these niggas, bruh. Don't give shit to these bitch ass hoe ass, trifling ass niggas. Okay, but let's get into the story because y'all not here to listen to me preach about niggas. So cool, y'all already know. Yeah, I was going to Daytona for spring break. I got all my maintenance done, got my hair done, regular shit, and I got a wax. So I knew old dude, I'm gonna call him Trash Bag. So I knew Trash Bag was going. I knew he was going to Daytona because he already told me he called off work. He did all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay. Me and him, we already did other things. So low key, I'm not gonna say I knew I was gonna do it, but I knew something was going to happen that night. Come on, guys, we're in Florida, no parents. We're drinking, we're doing this, we're doing that. I'm a virgin, but baby, I ain't never been scared. It's just more on finding the right person. And at this time, I'm thinking like, hey, low key, he was the best option. He's the safest option in my opinion. One, we've been to each other. I'm familiar with him. He know me better than anybody. We did other stuff together, so I'm already comfortable with doing stuff with him. Like, he already did this, I already did that. Like, it's just like, he's very familiar. So I'm like, this is the safest option rather than messing with a new dude God knows how many bodies doing this, got this. Like, with him, I already knew him. Like, I knew him. So I'm like, cool. So if we did do it, I wasn't like opposed to doing it, because like I said, I ain't never been scared. I just really need the right person. So yeah, we go to Daytona, blah blah blah, and when I see him, regular, we're making out, this and that. And a lot of y'all in my last story was like, oh girl, you was so quick to do it. Like I said, a girl got her needs, gang. A girl got, mind you, before we went, he already told me, he was like, when we go down there, I'm gonna eat it. So I'm like, okay, cool. All my mind is already set on this stuff that we've been talking about. Like, I'm telling y'all, we've been planning this shit. So, not necessarily planning me losing it, but necessarily preparing. We're planning to do nasty stuff, bro. So yeah, so it's late at night and we're supposed to be on the sofa bed. That's what we're supposed to be doing, what we was gonna do at. But like I told y'all, that girl, she was that bitch. She was on the sofa bed. So we're like, dang, where can we do it? Because all the other rooms are occupied. Like, we don't have no space or opportunity to do nothing. Like, oh my gosh, like, everybody's irritated. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, everything is on high. Like, I need some type of physical touch at this moment. Like, I'm drinking. I'm like, oh my God. So he like, okay, so do you want to go in the bathroom? And I'm like, go in the bathroom? But do what? Do what? But I ain't gonna lie, I ain't asking no questions. I just said, okay, cool. We go in the bathroom, we making out, this and that. He pulled down his pants. He pulled it out. He just like, my pants are down. Like, I ain't gonna lie, my pants are down. And then we're like, so he's like, so what do you want to do? Like, what are you comfortable doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, cause I really don't want to give him head. Like, guys, I really not in that mood right now. Cause when you do that, you really gotta be in the mood to do it. You cannot just be like whatever and do it, because it's gonna be trash. Like I don't know. Like, first of all, my mouth is dry. We just got done. Like, no, I really gotta be in that mood to do it. Like, you can't just do it just cause no, the girl gotta say, do you want me to give you, like, I don't know. If you know, you know. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. So everything is just out. So he's like, so what you want to do? And it's not really no space and opportunity for him to really, before. And mind you, disclaimer, he claims he never did it before. Like, he never did that with a girl before. Like, I'm the first one. Like, he making this big deal that I'm the first girl he gonna do this with. So yeah, so I'm like, okay. So he like, do you just want to? I'm like, bro, like, at this point, might as well. Like, everything out. We on high. Like, at this point, shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, mine as well. So, yeah, that's when I turn around. He put the thing on. He put the condom on. He put it in. And, guys, I ain't gonna lie. That shit hurt. But it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna die hurt. Like, literally, like, having like a plastic bag and like you trying to break a plastic bag, like me trying to do this and trying to break this with like a sharp tool, like on my finger, and I'm gonna just keep smashing until it go in. And yes, y'all, it did hurt. And when he was first doing it, he was putting it in the wrong fucking hole, gang. And when I tell y'all that shit hurt, cause now you're freaking shit in my fucking, like, oh my God. Yeah. So as it kept progressing, as he kept going, as we're keeping going, it did start to feel a little better, but like at the same time, I just felt like it didn't feel like, I didn't really feel pleasure. It just felt like I was getting like I don't know, like it literally just felt like I was just getting, like, I did not really feel any type of pleasure in doing so. I heard him, da da da, and I'm just like, bro, what is going? I feel like a movie right now. Like I'm just and I'm just like, this is what this is. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what my friends hyping up, da da da. But like y'all said, he just wasn't doing it right. Blah 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 blah. We hop in the shower, get in the shower. And that part was just so romantic, guys. Like, I feel like I was in a movie. Like, he was washing my body. He doing this. He doing that. He playing. And now we not nothing. So, yeah. And that bitch so fucking... I can't right now, guys. I'm sorry.
I won't tell you my name, and I won't tell you who I murdered. Because if I do, you'll know. You'll remember the story. You'll remember the headlines. You'll know who I am, and I don't want that. Because if you know who I am, you'll assume you know the story, and I want you to hear this without knowing and without assumption. I've changed the names of everyone in this story because the thing is, this story is real. It's not made up, it's not a script. Every single word of this actually happened. So here goes. I sat on the lower bunk in my cell and watched the guard make his rounds. Can't sleep again? Officer Daniel Reeves asked. You ask me that every night, I responded. Daniel smiled and stopped outside the bars. He was one of the few guards who treated the inmates like people. That happened less than you'd think. I trusted him more than I trusted my lawyer. You'll get through the appeal, he said. You don't seem like the type to stab anyone. He smiled a wonky smile that always made my heart sore. Juries don't care what type you seem, I said, swallowing down a sob. Every time anyone was nice to me, it made me want to cry. Daniel leaned against the bars. You still saying that you didn't kill her? I didn't. He looked at me for a moment and nodded. Good night, Mara. He walked away. I lay down but didn't sleep. I'd spent 4 years in prison for the murder of Evelyn. Evelyn had been found dead in her apartment. My fingerprints were on the weapon and witnesses saw us argue that very same night. The court called it open and shut. Life without parole. My first appeal was coming around, but I had little hope. People like me didn't make it out of prison. 2:13 a.m. that night was the first time I heard footsteps inside my cell. I didn't open my eyes at first. Straight away I thought, maybe it's Daniel. Had he stuck inside my cell to, well, you know. I thought I heard the footsteps get closer and my heart started to beat faster. It must be him. Who else could it be? I finally opened my eyes and saw eyes staring straight back at me, a mere few centimetres away. Wide, pale eyes with hair dangling all over the face. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I screamed and leapt out of bed. The face had disappeared. Mara, a voice whispered. I turned around and saw her. Pale skin, dark wet hair, blood soaking the front of a white shirt standing next to the sink in the shadows. I stopped breathing. No, I whispered. The woman looked at me with dull, grey eyes. It was Evelyn. I pressed myself against the wall. You're dead. Evelyn tilted her head. Yeah, thanks to you. I screamed for the guards, but by the time they arrived, the cell was empty. Daniel rushed in first. What happened? She was here, I said. Evelyn was standing right there. The other guards laughed, but Daniel didn't. He crouched beside my bunk. Did you dream it? I was awake. But you've been under stress, and she spoke to me. Daniel looked unsettled for the first time since I'd known him. What did she say? Nothing important. That was a lie. The sightings continued. Every few nights, Evelyn appeared somewhere in the prison. At the end of the corridor, inside the laundry room, standing behind inmates during meal service. Nobody else ever saw her. But I heard her voice constantly. You left me there. You saw him. Why won't you remember? I began losing sleep. I stopped eating. Other inmates avoided me. I looked like I'd lost the biscuit. Only Daniel stayed close. One night, he bought me coffee during his shift. You look terrible, he said. Thanks.
If I had to experience this, so do you guys. So story time for the person I met in a random parking lot yesterday. I had a chiropractor appointment an hour away from where I live, so I drove all the way there, and on my way home, there's like this bargain place where you can get like, not the point, there's this place that I've been wanting to go. I haven't been over in that area, and I was like, okay, I'm finally in the area. I'll be on the way home. I can stop by, I have some time. Go in this place, I find that gorgeous marble table that I posted about yesterday, and when I'm checking out, this guy comes in, an older man. I now know he's in his 70s, but he was like, did you check out the Christmas side? And I didn't know there was like a whole nother warehouse next door that had Christmas stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I had no idea that was over there. I'm totally going over there. And I did. And I got a Christmas tree skirt. So I'm really glad I went over there. It was $5. So I go over there. I'm on the Christmas side for like 30 minutes looking through everything. They had so much stuff. And then I go out into the parking lot after buying my Christmas tree skirt. It's like 30 minutes later, putting the table in my car, and none other than the same man pulls up right next to me in his truck, and I'm like, oh no. Just like, you know, as a woman, you're like, great, like what? He opens his window, figures, and he's like, did you get anything? And I'm like, you're so sweet. Like, I just don't have the heart to like not engage. So I'm like, I got a tree sticker, like, thank you so much, I'm so excited, whatever. He enters the conversation just by being like, this stuff's not really that important, but to give you some backstory, he's like, do you have kids at home? I have a bag of candy, I'd love to give it to you. Like, I don't have kids at home, I don't need it, thank you so much, whatever. And then he's like, well, I just went over to the store, and like, he collects dollar bills and cents and change and all this stuff because it has some pennies are worth a lot of money, and then he's telling me how the last penny was made last week, super passionately speaking about pennies. I'm like, totally interested. Honestly, I was like, this is a fun conversation. One thing about me, I will talk to anyone and everyone. I love learning about people. I love talking to people. The second someone's weird, I have no problem ending the conversation. But if they're not crossing that line, then like, we can be best friends. I don't care. Well, he's like telling me all these things. I'm like, that's sweet. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go home and check all my pennies, all the things. And he's like, what do you do? What's your name? I'm like, well, I do social media. My name's Olivia, whatever, not really giving too much information. And he's like, I guarded one of the presidents for a job. I'm like, oh, well, sweet. You don't come across those people every day. So awesome. So excited for you. Conversation is flowing swimmingly. Things are great. And then he looks at me and he goes, and then I went to prison for 21 years for a double murder. I knew it was coming. I'm like, nice, great, phenomenal. Things are flowing through my brain. I'm just being honest with you. I'm like, great. By now, I felt like we had enough of a relationship, so I just looked at him. I'm like, now, why did you do that? Like, why'd you do that? Trying to keep it lighthearted. Like, it's terrible, obviously, but I'm like, not really the time to place more blame on the man that went to prison for 21 years. And he looks at me and like, too much time is passing. I'm like, we've got to get this conversation or I'm getting on the road. He looks at me and he goes, the catch is, Olivia, I didn't do it. And I'm like, what? So in my brain, again, I don't know this guy. I don't know anything about him. So I'm still, again, as a woman, you're on high alert. Sometimes I'm like, I trust you, but I don't. Like, maybe no part of me is like, oh, he's a nice guy. Like, I'm just like, you may have, like, let me give you my card. You can look me up, all the things. And I'm like, again, take the card. I'm like, whatever to get me out of this conversation at this point. Again, great guy, super sweet, but that was kind of a bomb to drop on a new friend. Whatever, I'm like, that's crazy, you experienced that, I'm so sorry. He's like telling me how he was a cop, he was a veteran, all these things, he's a wonderful person, and he got wrongfully accused for a double murder that he didn't commit. Well, it turns out he didn't. I did all this research. It's a huge case in the area. I'd never heard of it. The case went cold in like 1990, and he ended up getting arrested in like 2002. Spent 21 years in federal prison, and then got out because amazing people figured out that he didn't do it. Like, he didn't do it. He genuinely, I can only form my own opinion at this point based on the research I've seen, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it. There's like a documentary or something. I'm gonna watch it. We tried to watch some videos on him last night. He makes greeting cards. I'm like, well, now I kind of want to like sit down for lunch. He had told me when he handed me the business card, he's like, call me sometime. And I'm like, probably won't be calling. Like, I don't expect any calls, but now I'm like, I want to call you. I want to hear your entire story. I want to be best friends, because what a freaking amazing story. Like, I'm like, something like, why did I meet you? Why did we randomly become friends? Why did we just talk in the parking lot for 20 minutes? And why did I learn this about you? I don't know. Now I'm just so intrigued, and I'm like, it's the people you meet. Like, this is why I love talking to people, because does it sometimes get me into trouble? Occasionally. But do I usually meet really cool people? All the time. I love it. I literally want to hear everyone's life story. So.
Story time on how this girl put up to my house. Roll call. Asking for me. And almost had to duke it out with mom. Yeah. So, my name's Destiny. Welcome to my crazy dating life, where I have crazy stories for everything. If you think you got it, I can top it. Okay? Let's get into it. Front row seat, grab your snacks, do whatever you gotta do. Sit down for this, because this is gonna be good. Okay? So, y'all, long story short, backstory, I was dealing with this guy for like a little bit over a year. Had a very platonic relationship, and it was actually really cool vibes. Like, I could be around him, seeing him in public all the time, like literally just super platonic. Then this man was taking me home every day after school because I didn't have a car at the time. So then I found out that we lived in the same area code, and at that, less than 2 minutes away from each other. Boo, wrap it up and pack your things, because you're not talking to nobody no more. I got you on lock. Also, y'all, this man got long hair and always has his hair done. Keep in mind about that. So, y'all, 5 to 6 months later, I come back to the school because I haven't talked to him in that short amount of time because I haven't been at the school. So he pretty much run into me. He like, oh yeah, like, let's chop it up afterwards. Like, let's catch up. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. Not thinking nothing of it. He get done what he doing. I get done what I'm doing. I hop in the car with him. We come to my house. He start chopping it up with my mom. That's how cool we were. He was chopping it up with Mom Dukes. Mom Dukes over here doing overly much. She talking about some, oh yeah, how have you been? La, 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 la. You know, they doing what they doing. My mom asked him to do something around the house. He do his little man duties around the house or whatever. Mind y'all, he was coming over to get his hair unbraided, washed, conditioned, and oiled. A bitch was doing motherfucking minimum wage at wife career status. Okay? So anyways, y'all, as I'm about to prepare to undo his hair, he get a text. Bing! Oh, I gotta go help my granny. Y'all, like I said, he lives less than 2 minutes away from me. So I'm like, okay, cool. He used to do that all the time when he used to come over before. Talking about, so I gotta go help my granny. Okay, cool. So he go help his granny. I go kick it in the room. My mama just chopping it up like, oh yeah, maybe I think I might start talking to him again. Boom, my mom get a phone call. This is important. I'm not listening to the phone call because the doorbell just rang at the same time as the phone call. Okay. I'm thinking I'm about to go open the door for a bugaboo. Ha! No. It's a grown-ass woman. And I thought she was lost. Nope, but she is found. And she found her man, okay? And it led her to my house. Mind y'all, it's damn near midnight. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is she doing on my doorstep. Part two. Part two on how the girl showed up at my crib, asked for me, and almost got my mama. Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who followed me. And y'all was doing a lot. I was doing live and y'all was asking me for the part two. Belt to ass. Okay, you getting it now. Love y'all. So old girl in front of my house asking for him to say his first and his last name. Okay, like she one of them military people, like she finna come snatch you. Okay, so she asked me, do I know him? Yes, I do. Indeed. She talking about some, well, I was just wondering because I was wondering what my man was doing over here almost, and it's damn near midnight. When I tell y'all, my stomach fell to my knees and hit the bottom of my feet when she said, my man, who's your man? Because it's not Mr. Smith, and you're not talking about my dad, so you're lost. So I'm like, how you know him? She like, that's my man. He been my man for the past 6 months. Clock it. Hold on. If I do the math and carry the 1 and add the 2. Bitch, you ain't been here long enough. I've been here for a whole year and some change. When did you come in the picture? Then I had to rewind. I was gone for 6 months. But regardless, so I'm asking her questions just trying to figure something out. But she coming at me mad aggressive. She like, yeah, like, what's up with it? Like, you feel me? Is you fucking my man? This, that, and the third? Now, I told y'all this was platonic. But I really wanted to get out of her skin and just be like, yeah, what now? But I didn't. But I told her it was like, it didn't really matter because I was trying to make sure I had my story straight before I gave it to the judge and the plaintiff so I could make sure I have my case for when I needed to get on his ass. So then my mama come to the door, y'all. Mom Dukes come to the door talking about what is she doing at the doorstep? The phone call that I was telling y'all about, my neighbors had called and was like, why are there 2 rowdy people outside your house? Old boy that just left my house, Mr. Smith, and old girl that's at my doorstep right now was tussling in the street. And I didn't even know. They talking about yeah, there's 2 people fighting outside your house. I don't know what they doing, but they was tussling. They was getting it in. So my mom is like, you know what you could do? You could go ask your man since he's your man so much. You could go ask him. He lived less than 2 minutes away from here. The girl started getting rowdy. She start popping it. I said, listen here, I got 2 goddaughters that's sleeping in my room. My mama out here yelling at you. And honestly, I really don't want to have to do too much because I just got my hair pulled. Y'all, I'm not trying to fight when I got my hair done. Y'all, if my hair gets pulled from the root of my scalp, oh, we gonna have a field day. Oh, yeah, for sure. So anyways, the girl talking about oh, yeah, your mama talking shit? Yeah, tell her to come outside. We could line it up. What? Bitch, I'm about to do you so cold. You might as well tell people you got jumped. Bitch, fuck is you talking about? So I'm telling her, cool down, like not too fucking much on my mom. And I'm trying to hold my mom back. Because my mom is, she ready to let the dogs out. And she is the dog bitch, okay? So boom, they hearing it popping. My neighbors come outside. My neighbor come outside and yell from across the street talking about ain't none of them coming outside. So y'all, I look across the street and I'm looking at my neighbor like, oh yeah, she popping it, yeah. Y'all, while I look at the silhouette because she had a light behind her, oh girl was holding a, Lord Jesus Christ. She pretty much was like, this is all I saw. If you got a problem, you could come over here with it. God! Part 3, y'all.
One of the craziest things that's ever fucking happened to anybody just happened to me, and I honestly, I'm really questioning my reality. So I just got on a flight. Okay, I sit down. The couple in front of me, they have like a 6-week-old baby. Okay, and they immediately start fighting on the flight, straight up. Like, she just steps on his neck right away, where she's like, something is wrong with your fucking brain. Like, something with the way that it works is fucking wrong with your brain. And he's like, oh my God, why are you doing this right now? And she's like, no, because like something is seriously fucking wrong with you. And I'm like, damn girl, like what's going on? And she is not being quiet. She's just going for it. And like, while this is happening, they're like, fasten your seatbelts. Like, they're doing the in-flight announcements. And so they'll like pause. And then they'll go right back to beefing. And he's like, oh my God, like, I'm not the one who's freaking out. You're the one who's freaking out. And that's why that guy had to grab you. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just sitting there being like being nosy, like, and everybody else on the flight's ignoring it. Okay, so, and they're like being loud, where they're talking at a volume of like, and honestly, and I'm like, so they're going back and forth, and she's like, no, because like, why is there a bitch in your phone? I'm like, oh shit, like drag him by his hair down the aisle, girl, no one will say anything, what's happening? And she's like, cause why is she messaging me that you were creeping on Snapchat? And he's like, oh my God, all I did was add her, we weren't even talking. And then she was like, why did you add her? And he's like, because she added me. And she's like, because she just told me that she was talking to you and that you were creeping. And he's like, did she send you screenshots? And she's like, no, because it's from Snapchat. And he's like, exactly, so nothing happened. I don't know why she's saying that. I just added her. The baby's quiet as hell. What's this happening? I'm like, damn, they fight like this all the time. This baby doesn't give a fuck. That's crazy. Is it just because it's like 6 weeks old? Because I don't know. I don't have a baby. I'm like, what's up? Like, I thought babies cry, fucking everything. This is crazy. And so they're just going back and forth. Again, pausing every time that they're like, don't forget the flotation devices are under your seat. And they're like, anyway, fuck you. It's crazy. So then he's like, oh yeah, nothing's ever in your phone because it doesn't have to be. And she's like, oh my God, what does that mean? And he's like, why are you still hanging out with your ex? Why is he hanging around? I'm like, ooh. And then she immediately gets defensive. So I'm like, oh, like, did he just like touch a nerve? Like, what's going on? And so she's like, oh my God, he's not even around that much. And he's like, you just went on a picnic with him one-on-one. And she's like, oh my God, that was to celebrate our pregnancy. And he's like, yeah, but I'm the dad. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what is going on? And then she's like, it's not like anything happened, bro. Like, I was huge at that time. He's like, oh yeah, because that stopped Stefan Diggs. Pop culture reference. What is happening? And I'm just sitting back there like, I'm texting like my friends and like Kylan about this, being like, bro, like live updates and shit. So then they're going back and forth. And she's like, he's not even around that much. Like, why are you even worried about him? And he's like, oh, really? And he just immediately lists off like 5 times the guy's been around recently. And I'm like, damn, it is not looking good for our girl. And then she looks at him, and she's holding the baby now. He was holding it at the beginning. They passed it off. She looks at him. She goes, why are you even getting mad on a flight, bro? Like, why are you even fighting on a flight, bro? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. And I'm like, did I just watch her gaslight successfully just now? Like, this is great. Like, she started it. And so I'm just like, oh my God, like, what's going on? And so then she's like, don't try that shit with me again. Like, I'm not a dummy. And then he's like, okay. And then they start like hysterically laughing. And I'm like, what is the tone of this moment? Like, what the fuck is going on? So then the flight takes off. Okay. They start rehashing it again, and it's like quieter, so I can only hear bits and pieces, but it's mainly about like they're just re-looping, and she's bringing up Snapchat, he's bringing up the ex, it's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. At some point, like 30 minutes before she land, she's like, oh, the baby. And then they both start fussing over the baby. So I'm like, oh, I guess the baby woke up. But this baby's well behaved as fuck. Like, this baby hasn't made any goddamn noise this whole flight. I'm like, this baby is so calm that I'm nervous about it, honestly. Like, I don't know what's up with this baby. Like, I'm glad it's not dead. I was starting to get worried, but like, what the fuck? So then we get off the flight, or the flight lands, so we're getting ready to get off, and I know that he's like effectively losing this fight because he starts narrating everything he's doing out loud, and she's just like straight up ignoring him, holding his baby like this. It's like swaddled. She's like giving him the cold shoulder, and he's like, gotta put on my jacket, gotta zip up my bag. And then anytime he meets any sort of resistance, like he can't get his arm in the jacket all the way, or like he can't zip up his bag, he's like, bruh. And I'm like, damn, this guy's annoying as fuck. Anyway, so like, I see where she's mad. So then they like stand up, they go to get off the fucking plane, and I'm walking behind them. I've been behind them this whole time. So all I can really see is the back of each of their head, and then like the top of the baby's head. It's got some hair. It's got a little bit of a cone head. It's like a new baby for sure. It's got like a small head still. So like, we get out, and this shit, I cannot prepare you for this shit. I cannot prepare you for what happened next. I'm honestly still reeling about it. I'm questioning my reality. I really am. We get off the flight. I see the front of them for the first time, and he's like, hand her to me. She hands the swaddled baby over, and then he grabs the baby by its head. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you should be worried about a soft spot. What the fuck? And then he picks up a coconut, and he holds it in the sky, and he goes, coconut. And then he re-swaddles it, and they start holding it again like a baby. And then they walk to baggage claim, and they keep holding it like a baby, talking about the baby this, the baby that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that was a coconut the whole time? That's why the baby was so quiet, because it's a coconut? That's why I thought maybe the baby was dead or something, because he was never truly alive, because it's a coconut? How did you even get a coconut on the flight? Why are you leaving Philly with a coconut to go to the Midwest? Like, I know they sell coconuts everywhere, but like, why? It's not like it's like a souvenir of like, oh, Philadelphia coconuts, unless I'm mistaken. But like, what the fuck? And they're talking about the baby the whole time, so I would think like, oh, maybe they were referencing a baby that they had back at home, but like, they swaddled it and they were rocking it and shit, and they kept referring to it as the baby. But then also, I was like, maybe they're on crack, and then I was like, but then why did he break? Like, why did his disbelief get suspended? Like, why was he aware at one point that it was a coconut to the point where he could go, coconut? Without them both freaking the fuck out over the fact that the baby's a coconut now. Like, what? And my dad picked me up. And I'm telling all of this to him. And he's like, maybe it was some, like, couples therapy thing of, like, oh, like, pretend that you have a baby, you know, like, to imagine greater responsibilities outside oneself or something. Or, like, maybe she's early pregnancy and they're trying to prepare. And, like, their couples therapist recommended this. And I was like, sure, but then why didn't they give them a baby doll? Why is it a coconut? And again, how did they get the coconut on the plane? Like, can you just bring coconuts on the plane? Like, it's a plot twist it's a true plot twist. Because who the fuck would have thought that was a coconut? Like, hours of my life, I believed a coconut was a baby. Huh? And I have so many questions that are never going to be answered about this. I'm reeling. I'm actually fucking reeling.
I went to prison for 2 years, and I'm going to tell all the new people here why. So you guys don't have to go 40,000 videos down my freaking track. I was in my addiction for 3 years. Heavy addiction. Addicted to hard rugs. You guys, not doing good, not doing good. Maybe was I sleeping outside of a 7-Eleven at one point? Yes. Okay, it was one time, but it was really bad. I wasn't one of those people on the streets going like this, though. But I actually did fall asleep behind a 7-Eleven. What is a queen doing back there? That ass lost everything. My house, my kids, my job, my family, my cars, my soul. I quickly went from smoking to... I had an abscess in my ankle. All of a sudden, somebody introduces me to this guy who used to be an ex-firefighter. Police of Chief. Head police of Chief. And they're like, here... He was also addicted to Beth. And they're like, here, he'll know how to, like, fix your ankle. So that's how I met the motherfucker. His name was Alan, and he was a bit older than me. He was like, come here, darling, I'll help you. I think I clung to him because he was, like, trying to help me, and he wanted to take care of me, and he had money, and he was also on drugs, and I was like, oh, okay. And since he was older than me, he put me on a pedestal, obsessed with me. You know, if you date older men, they become obsessed with you, and then you become obsessed with someone being obsessed with you. He was, like, 20 million years older than me. Oh, my God. Then he started doing fucked up shit to me. Holding resentments. Like, I can't even tell you the things he would do to me. I felt like I didn't have a voice because I needed the rugs. No, it doesn't make sense to somebody who's not a rug addict or has never been one. I understand that. I take it. After he done bad shit, back to fucking matter, I kept robbing his ass. And by robbing his ass, I mean I would like drive off with his car, I would take his money, I would take his rugs, I kept doing shit. I went to stay with this girl at a hotel because I had nowhere to go, and she was like living there. She's been there for like months. I couldn't even pitch in to pay for the room, so I was like, I don't know what to do. And then Alan texted me and he's like, hey, do you want to hang out with me and so we can all... And I have money, rugs, and not only did I need to come up with some money to give the girl, I also was like, fuck yeah. I tell the girl, should I do it? And she's like, yes, take him for all he's got. I told him to come pick me up, and then we go to a hotel. He was being so fucking rude to me. Like, all he wanted to do was bang. Like, dude, you're literally so gross. Like, do you have a fucking mental outside of that? Like, literally, you're a freak. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to find a way to freaking, you know, like, fall asleep, bro. Do something. Dude, like, I gotta go. There wasn't an opportunity for me to rob him. So then I was like, how do I do this? I need to do this. So then I texted this guy that I used to see in my addiction because I knew that he used to rob people back to back. He robbed somebody every single fucking day. I was like, dude, what's up? I'm with Alan and he's got this, and that, and what do you want me to do? He's like, hey, tell her to go to Travelodge. That's where I was at when he picked me up. So I'm like, hey, can you take me back to the hotel, please? Meanwhile, I'm setting up for him to get robbed. Oh my God. So we pull up to the travel lodge and I'm in the back seat and I'm texting him the whole time, the guy that's gonna rob him. And I'm setting it all up. And then boom, he sees him there in the parking lot. He's like, what's he doing here? And I'm like, I don't know. We're at the local fucking rug hotel, okay? He's probably seeking rug. He looks at Alan through the window and he goes, roll your window down. He's like, you got any? And Alan's like, yeah, just get in when Lacey gets out. And I'm all, what is he doing here? What are you doing here? I pull to the back parking lot, and as I get out of the car, the motherfucker gets in the back seat where I was. Alan's parked right here. Some of the robbers' friends pull up and park right behind him so he cannot back out. Alan goes, who are they? And the robber goes, oh, that's just the people I'm getting it for. And Alan goes, oh, okay. Oh, brother, we blocking your ass in. And then I climbed into this car and ducked. What is he? My other co-defendants were in said car I climbed into. He's going to get robbed. Boom. Alan jumps over the medium. There was a medium. Is it a medium? Median. Ah! It was a median. He jumped over it in his motherfucking monster. He said, I ain't getting robbed today. And the people that were driving in the car I was in, they were like, follow the fucking car, bro. And I was all, ah! And the driver was kind of a pussy and he's like, I'm not gonna run a red light. And the guy in the passenger seat, my other co-defendant, was like, don't be a fucking pussy, run the red light. Alan is driving all through downtown trying to get pulled over. What were you gonna tell the cop? He's trying to rob me for my rugs and money? Question mark? So he's swerving, he's running red lights, and we're just following. We're all, Alan pulls into the police department. I've been blending my face for an hour. Alan pulls into the police department parking lot and the robber pistol whips him and gets out of the car somehow and then climbs back into our car. So we go back to the hotel where Robert's car is and also where we were staying. And I go into the hotel room and everybody's yelling at me because Robert is saying he didn't have shit. You're a liar. And I'm like, it's not my fault that he didn't let you rob him. Like, so as I'm getting pissed off and I'm like, fuck you guys, why are you mad at me? I go to walk out of the hotel room and there's officers, get on the ground. And I'm like, fuck. And all of us are on our knees in the hallway of the hotel with our hands behind our back. We all went to jail, and a lot of those people there had probation violations, and I didn't. And I kind of played dumb. Like, I don't know. I just got a ride there. I don't know. And then I got out of jail right away. I go back to the hotel. There's caution tape on the hotel door that says crime scene. And I'm like, hey, can I get a key to get my stuff out of the hotel? And the guy's like, yeah, here. I'm all, thanks, man. I clear that bitch out. I even took the Bible. That's what I found in the hotel, the rugs and money that he said he didn't get from Alan. So he actually did. He just didn't want to pinch me off any when it was my idea. And then boom, they're all sitting in jail while I have all the rugs and money. And I was all, boom, I'm living my best crackhead life. Okay, not really. I was very depressed and not doing well. Boom, somebody sends me a picture of me being secretly indicted on robbery in the 1st degree, burglary in the 2nd degree. I don't fucking know. There was so much shit. I went on the run for, I think, a full year and a half. I was riding in people's trunks of their cars. I was so paranoid. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to the federal prison for 27 years. Like, how does it even count? That guy was a bad guy. I was basically Batman. He didn't tell the cops that we were robbing him for his rugs, okay? He hid the rugs and then was like, he robbed me for my money. So the girl I was staying with at the hotel, she pretty much told the officers what happened and she showed our messages, which I honestly do not care anymore. At the time, I was really pissed, but she didn't owe any loyalty to me and she wasn't even really my friend. They held like her kids over her head and all sorts of shit. So I get it. And honestly, going to prison saved my life. So like, truly, I'm grateful that I got told on, because imagine if I didn't and I never went away. I'd probably be dead right now. I finally got caught from Madge. They found me, and when he found me, he said, you motherfucker. I was sentenced to 3 years in prison, but I did 2 with good time, and I haven't used a rug since the day I got arrested. I have 8 years clean in August. In prison was dead ass the scariest thing I've ever been through in my entire life, but it's what ended up being the thing that saved me the most. Other charges happened in my addiction too, so they just mashed them all together. And I was like, ah. Charges were robbery in the 2nd degree, burglary in the 1st degree, DUI and a UMV. Ah. The only one I did do was the robbery. That's the backstory on the summer I went to prison.